Hello there, friend. It's Kip, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about a situation that I'm hearing more and more from some of the high achievers that I'm working with, or just conversations with people that are in my communities. And the question is, why does it feel like your next level goal is just out of reach, no matter how hard you push to get it? So it's very likely, if you're listening to this podcast, you've achieved a lot in your life already. You may have had an outstanding career. You may have created a life for yourself that other people really admire. Maybe your life looks like a beautiful highlight reel. But in the quiet times, when you're on your own, when you slow down enough to really pay attention to what's going inside, you're experiencing something's missing, or perhaps it's a growing emptiness where you're not feeling the things that you feel you should be based on everything you've accomplished, everything you've been up to. So if that sounds familiar, stick around, because I'm really going to look closely at this, why it happens, why it's actually totally normal for world-class performers, for high achievers, to experience this, and then what you can do to turn things around so that instead of feeling that growing emptiness or just feeling like something is really off, you'll start feeling like your achievements are wonderful. They'll fuel your energy. They'll build your confidence. You'll get a beautiful sense of fulfillment. So the key insight here is that you can't outperform with an identity you've outgrown. So I'm going to talk about exactly what that means and how you can create the version of yourself, which, by the way, has been there all the time. It's just buried deep beneath a lot of other stuff. But to get reconnected with that version of you that actually supports the next level results that you're searching for, that you're seeking. So the issue here is that there's an identity gap. So your identity, your self-identity, the sense of who you are, it's kind of like the internal operating system of your life, because it includes your beliefs, your habits, the self-image you carry around about yourself every day. It determines how you show up, how you make decisions, and what you believe is possible for yourself. But if it's outdated, if you've outgrown it, then no matter how hard you push, you're going to feel friction. You're going to feel like everything is harder, and you're not going to feel the joy and the excitement that you should be feeling based on everything you're achieving. So it's kind of like trying to sprint a marathon in shoes that don't fit you anymore. So you can move, yes, you can actually do some running, but it's going to be highly inefficient. It's going to be really uncomfortable, and frankly, it can get quite painful. So you're making progress, but doing that, it's going to drain your energy, it's going to impact your confidence, and you're definitely not going to have any fun doing that. So just think about things a little bit here. Have you ever, or perhaps recently, pushed for a goal or achieved a milestone, but you still felt that it wasn't quite right? Something was missing, something was off, or you just felt really empty inside. So that discomfort that you're feeling, that undercurrent that something's off, that's actually your identity sending you a message which says you're just not fully aligned with this next level version of you that you're seeking, this next level goal that you're trying to get to. Now, the problem is, for high achievers, people like you and like me, we are wired to solve problems. We're wired to hit goals, to push limits. And it's amazing. It's incredible. We accomplish a lot. It's what makes us world-class people in our efforts. But those very traits that got you to this level where you are now, the discipline, the focus, the grit, the determination, that can also keep you stuck because it's outdated now. So it's time for you to evolve your identity, your sense of self, who you can be in order to achieve this next level that you're searching for. So a quick story here. A client of mine, I'll call her Sarah. She's had an unbelievable career from the outside looking in. She has been a partner at a highly prestigious law firm. She's got an amazing looking resume. She was making really good money. She had a beautiful office. Everything seemed to be going really well. But increasingly, she was feeling something was missing. And when she came to me and we started talking, she expressed it, like saying that, why does it feel so empty? I don't understand. I should feel better than this based on everything that I've done. So as we started working together, she came to realize that her identity, the version of herself that achieved everything up to this point, a lot of that had been shaped by other people's expectations of her. And so, of course, it's going to feel increasingly disconnected and increasingly misaligned, because those weren't her values that she was operating from. They were the values of somebody else. So those values weren't aligned with her own vision of what success should feel like for her. And so until she was able to upgrade that identity, no award or promotion or recognition of any kind would ever feel enough for her. So when it does, though, when you actually get into alignment and you start operating from an identity-aligned level of performance, then your goals, your actions, the decisions you make, the sense of self you have, everything feels better. Everything feels like it's been upgraded. You have a lot more energy. Your confidence just grows. And that's what we're aiming for here today. So some of the signs that would tell you if this is happening to you, if you really pay attention, the first one of these is that you're feeling a lot of friction and fatigue despite putting in a lot of effort. And the same kind of effort that, again, has allowed you to achieve up to this point. So you're out there, you're hustling, you're pushing through every day, but things are feeling increasingly heavy. You're feeling like you're swimming upstream too much of the time. That's a very clear sign that it's time for an identity upgrade. Another is, as I've said before, you're achieving things, but you're not feeling that sense of fulfillment you should feel. You're hitting your goals, but maybe there's some joy there. It disappears far too quickly. And so you just immediately move on to working towards the next goal, hoping that's the one that's finally going to land and feel better, but it just never does. And I think increasingly it's going to feel even worse unless you address this. And then the third sign that you're operating from an identity that you've outgrown is that you may even be subtly sabotaging yourself, or at the very least hesitating. So perhaps you're procrastinating more than you're used to. You're hesitating on making decisions. There's some self-doubt there that creeps in. And it's not because you're not capable. You're every bit as capable as you always been. But again, it's just that your current sense of self, it's just not ready to carry forward these next level results that you're seeking. So maybe one or all of those signs are speaking to you. And if so, then it's time to start making some changes. So let's talk a little bit about some solutions here. How do you step into a version of yourself that can actually support the results you're looking for? And this is just about getting realigned with that identity, the identity that can achieve and fill the fulfillment, because it's based on very specific values that are clear to you and that you use to take action on. So self-awareness is the first one. Just slow down enough to take stock here. So who are you at your core? What beliefs are important to you? What do you value? What do you value? For me, I really value freedom. That's one of my top values. So if I'm in a situation where I'm feeling caged, where I'm feeling like I don't have options, where I feel like perhaps I'm working too much and I'm not having enough fun, I'm not able to get out and spend time doing things I love, that's a sign. That's a clear sign. So that would be me out of alignment with that value of freedom. And I have other values too, but that one's close to the top. So take stock. Take a look. Are you really connected? Do you even know those values that are most important to you? Have you ever stopped to think about that? Another step to take would be to really consider your next level identity. So this is the future self stuff that I've talked about in previous episodes. And I invite you to go back and listen to some of them, because there's some really good information in there. So what you want to do is get really, really crystal clear, a picture of you, some future version of you that handles everything beautifully, that is achieving everything you want to achieve, but there's a level of ease to it and joy and grace. You're having fun instead of feeling stressed out, feeling like you're striving all the time. the clearer you can be on that future version of you, your future self, the sooner you'll be able to embody that and then start living from that version of you. So this future self version of you, and think about all the habits you would have. What would your typical day be like? Write that out. I mean, actually sit down with a pen and piece of paper and write out what would your ideal day look like if everything was going the way you want it to. So you include your habits, you include the way you're thinking, the decisions you're making, who you're hanging around with, where you are, what are you wearing, what are you doing, all those things. The more detailed you can make it, the more real it becomes. And then the powerful part of this is that you start showing up as that version of you. So the clearer you can get on that future self version of you, then you can, it's not something that's out there in the future. You bring that into today and you start living from that version. So you start acting as if that is the person you are now, and you make decisions and you speak, and the people you hang around with could be different because, again, what got you here will not get you there. And part of what got you here is a tribe of people, a group of people. And some of them may still be able to get you to your next level, but there are some that probably won't. And they might, in fact, even hold you back a little bit. So you've really got to look at that carefully, look at that really closely. The more you can step into that future version of yourself each day, that means that you're very clear on it, and you can start living from that point every day, the sooner you start rewiring and this upgrade to your identity, then things will start falling into place. And it'll happen almost like magic, the way things will start showing up for you. So aligning yourself with your environment, this is about surrounding yourself with the people and the resources and the routines that reinforce this upgraded identity, this future self version of you. It's hard to show up as someone new if your environment keeps telling you to be the old version, if it keeps you stuck in this old version of you. And yes, it might feel a little bit awkward at first, but the more you do it, the more natural it's going to feel, the easier it's going to feel, and the more you're going to see the kinds of results that you've been looking for. So again, just a reminder, you can't outperform with an identity you've outgrown. So if your goals have been feeling a little out of reach, or if your achievements have been leaving you feeling drained or unfulfilled or kind of empty, it's not about putting your head down and soldiering through. It's not about working harder. It's not about just doing more of what you've been doing. This is now about making some changes and upgrading the version of yourself that shows up in a new way in the world. Now, if you're ready for this, if you're ready to step into your next level, if you're ready even just to explore that and see what's possible for you to get into alignment, align that version of you, your self, your sense of self, your identity with your values and your goals, your ambitions, I'd love to guide you with that. So feel free to schedule a complimentary session with me and let's take a look at it. Let's make sure that your next level goals actually fuel your energy and your sense of pride and accomplishment and that beautiful sense of fulfillment. So thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. Remember, your next level self is not just a goal, it's the version of you that is waiting to be fully activated. So create it, show up, step into her, and then watch what happens when your identity and your ambition finally align.